You know, as a parent, that having conversations with your kid about their future is more important than anything else. And yet, having conversations with teenagers about anything significant can be more than challenging. It could be tricky, complicated, and fraught with conflict and high intensity. I'm Scott Schimmel, and today in the YouSchool podcast, we're going to get into how do you foundationally set the stage to have really meaningful, in-depth, thoughtful conversations that your kids need to have without getting into all of the fighting and conflict that can derail the conversations that are so important. I've been working with teenagers and young adults for the past 2 decades plus. And more often than not, I get to be coach, guide, impartial, quite frankly. I'll often tell a kid, a young adult, I don't care what you do. I'm not tied into the results. I'm not tied into the outcomes. I am truly impartial. So that's the role I often play, but I'm also a dad with 3 kids. 2 of them are teenagers. One of them is now going to be a senior. And I'm now in it. I'm in it just like you. As a parent, trying to figure out how do you establish the communication? How do you have these conversations that have to happen? And the fact is, the outcomes as a parent are tied together. Their outcomes are my outcomes. How their life goes is how my life goes. So the stakes are getting higher as we talk more and more about college and career, because it's not just about them. And the dynamic about teenagers, and this is healthy and it's true for every single kid, is that developmentally they need to start making their own choices, and they want to. And so what that often manifests as is, leave me alone, I got this. But you know, as a parent, that they don't. They don't got this. They've never been here before. They've never done that before. They don't know what they're doing. Their aperture is really small. Their life experience is shorter than yours. And the stakes are high. Significant financial dollars are involved. Your money is involved, most likely. When it comes to changing a major, if they change their minds, that could set them back a semester more, making choices or not making choices about getting jobs, job experience, internship. That might set them back a long time. We know that the most recent stat, according to the Wall Street Journal, is that 52% of 28-year-olds are underemployed. These are university graduated, college degree young adults who aren't working in their qualified profession. Anyways, the stakes are super high. So what we're going to get into is a series of kind of these battle-proven strategies and tactics to how to have better conversations, how to improve the communication that you have with your kid so that they are quicker to make the wise choices that you want them to have. And the foundation of all of this goes back to what Harvard's Amy Edmondson has coined: psychological safety. You need to create psychological safety for your kid in order for them to explore their opportunities and options, imagine possibilities, get clear and confident, and make the right choice. Now, what is psychological safety? It's more than just making it feel safe. It has 3 essential ingredients. The first one is, it is okay to be myself. That psychological safety is, how do you qualify? How do you measure it? It's an experience that somebody has in a community or in a team or in a relationship. And that first ingredient, it's okay to be myself here with these people, usually means, in this case, that a kid would say, I am free to express my own ideas, my own thoughts, my own ambitions, aspirations, without anticipating that the other person, in this case you, the parent, is going to be quick to say, hey, no. Quick to be critical, quick to judge, quick to bring intensity, quick to get triggered. That your kid can explore with you things they're thinking about, even if they are uninformed, immature, emotional, that they can share that with you, and you can hold that. You can actually kind of absorb it without quickly, which is what I often do as a dad, go quick to from 1 to 10 level of intensity, and I express it through my face, the tone of voice, the words I say. It's not okay to be yourself. What are you thinking? That's not, no, come on. It's that sort of reaction that we're so prone to. I'm so prone to, and I know parents are. As I work with kids, they often tell me about their parents lecturing them, getting intense with them, being critical of their ideas, kind of bringing the angst. And that is not an ingredient that is conducive to your kid making wise, informed, conscious decisions that they can commit to. So the first one, it's okay to be myself. The second is it's okay to make mistakes. Psychological safety, that's an essential ingredient. It's okay to make mistakes. And mistakes in this case are committing to paths, whether it's college or major or career, that are quote unquote wrong. In other words, they're risks. I want to take a risk. I'm not sure if it's right. And I need to know that it's going to be okay if I do that. And the third ingredient is people here have my back. So it's okay to be myself. It's okay to make mistakes. People here have my back. Your kid needs you to take the initiative to create psychological safety so they can explore their options. Now, what does that look like? How do you create psychological safety? I think the most effective way to do that, through my experience, is by you sharing your stories, recalling and retelling your stories, where you freely, autonomously, independently chose to blaze your own trail. That's you learning what it looks like to be yourself. Where you also tell stories about the mistakes that you've made and what you've learned from them. And that you can reassure your kid time and time again that no matter what happens, no matter what you choose, no matter what mistakes you make, no matter what you set out to do that turns out to be a dead end, or maybe just you realize 2 years down the line that this is not for you, that you will be there with them, continuously providing support. You're always for them, in their corner, supporting them, cheering them on, giving them advice, that they would feel like you have their back no matter what. So telling stories and reassuring them, that can create the psychological safety in order for you to walk through a series of conversations, which we're going to get into in future episodes and articles, so that you can be the guide to your kid to explore their future. Now imagine this, that your kid 10 years from now would look back and be able to articulate that you were a key figure in helping them explore and discover and become confident and committed to the path that they've chosen. Imagine that they would look to you, where so many of us would say, no, my parents didn't provide the psychological safety. They provided no guidance. They made it very clear that there was a lot of pressure on me and I couldn't make mistakes. And I never felt like I could explore my true self, my true identity, my true path in life because of all the pressure from them. That's not what you want. That's not what I want for my kids. So we're going to walk through how to do this effectively so that you can be a guide to your kid. These conversations are fraught with intensity, confusion. The world is a complex place. There's so many dynamics that will prevent you having great conversations with your kid about their future, but we're going to get through it together. So now's your turn. Tell your stories, reassure them that you're with them, create and sustain the psychological safety that your kid needs you to create.